Hey guys, what is up? It is Philbo. We are going to be looking at wheel slash. This is a skill I swore I would never play because it's basically like activating a cheat code. Why is it so good? It hits everything around you. It's really easy to build, and it doesn't require any crit or hit rating on your gear. So you don't have to build for crit. You don't have to add any hit in. You can add those stats to whatever else you want on your gear. It's really easy to build. The other thing is you're not going to be activating to any other ability. We will only have to improve the link runes on our wheel slash and nothing else. So it's very easy to get up and running at a strong level very quick. Now, wheel slash, what I need to note is that it is a dot-based skill. It does have initial strike damage, but the goal is going to be to build up dots on our enemy. We will hit them, it will apply a dot, and it can stack up multiple times. So that is wheel slash, and that's how it works. Some other really nice things to note about wheel slash is that it is a very fast mapping skill. I would say it's probably even faster than Whirlwind if you can do it right, because you're just running through the entire map. And a lot of times if you're farming, you only have to hit most mobs with one dot and they will die. So it is very fast, definitely S tier ability for mapping. Still really good damage on bossing, but definitely a build you want to use for mapping. Wheel slash is going to add dots to enemies. Without awakening it, we can get up to 5 stacks of our dot. Once we awaken it, we will be awakening 2 Verity to get this +2 max dot stack. So this will bring our stacks up to 7. And that's where our damage is coming from. Very little damage comes from the initial physical damage. We're going to focus on the dot damage, okay? So that is wheel slash. For our movement skills, I'm using 2 since this is, for me, primarily a farming build. I'd like to map faster, and 2 movement skills is going to allow me to do that. For attack enhance, we're using Fighter's Wrath, melee damage amplification, and attack speed. One thing to note, attack speed's not quite as important in this because the dot damage, as long as we get the stacks up, it's going to do the damage. But getting the stacks up faster is a good thing. So the extra attack speed in this build is good to have. So Fighter's Wrath is definitely the attack enhance you want to run. And I'm using Tenacious Regeneration for the defense enhance because I love the instant heal and then the big HP regen that comes with it. I'm using Seal of Pain to get additional dot amplification. You can also use the Seal of Condensed Destruction. It's also really good. I'm using this. I think it does slightly more damage. We will be using our Illusion Axes to apply the shock debuff. And I'll tell you how we do that in just a moment here. Moving on, we're looking at the links. Iron Will, damage amplification as we go higher in HP. So we want to have high HP to get full benefit of all of this amplification. So we get amplification from HP here and here. So keep that in mind. Push for as much HP as you can to get the benefit from that. And then we also get armor from it, which is really nice. Here, the link I'm running is Savagery. This ability has the weapon range tag, so the area of effect for this ability is going to be based on our weapon's range. Savagery increases our weapon range. So what am I talking about here? When I go to look at my weapon, you are going to look at this number here. This is going to determine how large your weapon range is going to be when you use wheel slash. Moving on, we're going to be using dot. This is going to give us a big boost to our dot amplification, and it's going to reduce the strike damage that we have. Now, again, we talked about wheel slash earlier. You're going to get physical damage, but the overwhelming majority of the damage is going to come from our dot. So this is going to give a big boost to the dot, and it's going to reduce the strike damage a little bit, but who cares? The dot's what we're concerned about. Grip strength, damage amplification, hit rate dampening. Is this bad? No, it's not, because again, dots don't miss. Hit rate does not matter. You don't want it on your gear anyway, so this doesn't matter, and we get a good bit of amplification from this grip strength. Damage acceleration is going to be a link rune that you are going to get through rare synthesis. So if you need to use a pity box on this one, this is the one to do it on. Dot acceleration is going to make our dot basically work faster. So dot for 2.5 seconds to enemies. If we take this off, this is going to be a higher number. So the lower we can get this, the faster the damage is going to happen to our enemy. Melee damage amplification is our next link rune. It's going to just give us more amplification. And one thing to note here is that once you go to the legendary level, it's going to say cannot apply dot. Don't worry about that. That's talking about bleeds, poisons, things like that. Not this. This is like a core part of this ability. This is not affected at all. So don't worry about that. This is a good rune to use. And pretty much everybody running wheel slash, physical wheel slash, is running a melee damage amplification rune. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. One thing to point out with Illusion Axe, again, we're using this to apply shock. We're going to need to convert it to lightning with the convert lightning damage link rune. Add continuous shock. This is going to allow us to shock. So we need continuous shock on here. I recommend extract energy because it's going to allow you to build up lightning energies, which increases the status effect rate. As our status effect rate increases, our shocks become more consistent. So I recommend that. And then area of effect is just going to give it bigger area of effect. Nothing special for our enhanced skills, just the two big ones: increased duration and time acceleration. Lower cooldown, increased duration. Very straightforward. And then finally for our movement skills, we're going to want disarm because disarm lowers the skill rune cooldown big time. So you want that. For zodiac stats, my recommendation here is that you get enough intelligence and dexterity to run your skills. So you'll need a little intelligence for Seal of Pain, and then dexterity to run your two-handed swords. Again, this is weapon range, so I would definitely get a two-handed sword for this build. They have much better range than axes. So get enough dexterity for your gear, and then also your skills are going to need a little dex, and then put the rest in strength. Once you've reached a point with your character that you have plenty of stats, you will eventually want to have enough dexterity and intelligence to reach 200 with each of these, so that you can then get this 40% damage node. But early on, it's not necessary. Just get enough dex in it, put the rest in strength. Moving on to the traits, we're going to look at trait 3-1 here, Afros. I'm taking these 7 points. 3-2, I'm taking these 6 points. Grab the dodge if you have plenty of armor. If not, get the armor one. Go into explore for the armor. 3-3, we're taking these 5 points here. 3-4, we're taking these 5 points here. Take the armor if you need it more. Take the resist you need the most. 3-5, I'm taking these 5 points here. And then also these 5 points right here. 3-6, I'm taking these 3 points to get this physical damage dampening, which I think is very good. And then these 8 points right here. If you've never run a dot build, you might not be familiar with these points, but these are going to help us speed up that dot acceleration that we talked about, and then give us more dot damage. So those points are very good. In Maggot, we are going to take these 3 nodes right here, get the melee damage. These 3 points in Ortimus, I'm taking for the additional HP. These 5 points here in Scent to get this damage from Elite's Decrease. Moving on to Tree 8, I am taking Plague, the two-handed damage. Farmer, I'm grabbing this additional HP. And then in Hunter, I'm taking all these points to get Time of the Hunt. And then finally, I've got 3 points right here in Typhoon. Now, bear in mind, there's 5 points left over, so just put it into whatever you need the most. If you need additional HP, find some additional HP nodes. Otherwise, just drop it into damage. For the specialization, we are going into Hammer, grab Uplift, Overpower, and then go down here to get the dot amplification. Again, don't worry about strike amplification. We do very little. This is not going to help you out, so avoid these 2 points right here. Wrath, grab the damage amp, and then go all the way down here to get the dot amplification. Flame, pick up the HP absorb, come down here, get this dot amplification for bosses, and then Enrage is going to cycle between weapon range and damage amplification. Talk real quickly about gear. For your weapon, what you're going to want is you're going to want weapon range on your weapon. Speed is not bad, but then get attack damage. That's pretty much all you want. Attack damage, range, speed. That's what you're looking for. Avoid crit rate and crit damage at all costs. It is completely worthless for this build. So that's all you got to keep in mind. And then you're going to want to shoot for high resistances, high armor. If you have plenty of armor, go ahead and start dropping some points into dodge rating to get the additional avoidance. But other than that, make sure you're looking for HP on your gear as well, as we need to get all the additional damage amplification from Iron Will. So look for that on your gear. For charms, again, avoid crit rate and crit damage. Just look for damage rolls on your charms and HP rolls. That's pretty much all I'm going to look for on mine. And then for the 3 charm blessings that you're going to want, in this order, you're going to want Hamal first for the damage amplification plus HP amplification. Boreal's next. Again, more damage amplification and armor amplification. And then finally, you'll go for Aquila, which is going to give dot amplification. But you'll want to get it in that order. Hamal first, Boreal, then Aquila. Moving on to relics, we are going to take Avatar of Castor. For the passive, we will be picking up enhanced strength to get all that additional strength. For the active, we will pick up sensory stimulation for physical damage amplification. Next, we will pick up Avatar of Leo and get enhanced attack speed, passive for the attack speed and movement speed. Finally, we will pick up Spica and work towards powerful damage to get this additional physical damage. But that is it. That is the entire build. Very straightforward, very easy to play, very strong. Highly recommend it. If you want something that is going to be quick to build, quick to get you mapping at what I would say is going to be a very strong mapping build, then this is the one you want to do. I like it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it that much, but I could see myself running this build a lot in the future, so I highly recommend it. If you've got any questions, drop something in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If the video's been helpful, I would definitely appreciate a like and a subscribe. I've got to get back to the grind, so thank you again for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys later.